By focusing on these two nutrients, my client was able to lose an additional 15 pounds on top of the 30 pounds that she had already lost. This is significant because bonus points, she did not count a single macronutrient while she was on her last 15 pounds. This is why it's so important to have a solid foundation of macro tracking, resistance training, and healthy habits in order to continue on progressing towards your journey into intuitive eating. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the importance of having enough fiber and protein, which did help aid in her fat loss results and kept her feeling full and satiated all the way through. First things first, a lot of people know the importance of fiber, but they are incorporating it completely wrong. They're not seeing the full benefit of the fiber, and in fact, it's probably doing the opposite. By eating and utilizing fiber the wrong way, they can even worsen their gut health. The first thing you need to understand is how fiber actually helps you lose weight. It makes you feel really full from your meals. And when you feel full during and after your meals, it will be so much easier for you to actually attain your fat loss goals. In addition, it's so easy to just bypass those foods that really don't suit your goals anymore, like bypassing those nachos or those cookies, or even when you are sitting at checkout looking at the Snickers talking to you. Fiber helps you feel full in two totally different ways. The first way is that when you consume a high fiber meal, maybe something really rich in a lot of non-starchy veggies, a lot of legumes, beans, cruciferous veggies, the fiber will literally mechanically stretch your stomach, sending a signal to your brain that you are getting really full. This fiber acting on your digestive system immediately. As your high fiber meal travels from your stomach to your small intestine and then into your large intestine, that is where the hormonal benefits start to come into play, because the fiber is gobbled up by your gut bacteria, and then a hormone called GLP-1 is released. GLP-1 may sound super familiar because it is the exact same hormone that weight loss drugs like Ozempic are targeting. So with that satiety hormone GLP-1 going up, your body feels so nice and full and satiated. Even outside of fat loss, fiber has tremendous benefits in reducing your gut inflammation and decreasing risk of chronic disease. And of course, it is so beneficial at keeping you regular, but that's only if you do it right. And the mistake that I see most common is using fiber supplements. Fiber supplements can come in a lot of different forms, like psyllium husk, inulin fiber, chicory root fiber, wheat bran. There are a lot of different gummy forms as well. This will bring your fiber up and it will increase your satiety, but it does skip over the other holistic benefits. Fiber from whole foods contains a lot of micronutrients and sometimes protein that you are going to be missing out in if you are not focusing on those whole foods and just relying on fiber supplements. Whole fiber-rich foods will also force you to chew your food properly, which is actually a potent stimulator in making you feel a lot more full. So by taking a fiber supplement, you are really only getting a fraction of the benefits that you could be getting. The second biggest mistake that I see is that you are just using grains to fill up your fiber. Now, when I ask a lot of new clients or just people in general, what do you think is a high fiber food? They will often say grains. And they are not wrong. It's just that grains don't nearly have as much fiber as other foods would. And just solely focusing on grains to increase the amount of fiber in your diet is not necessarily the best thing for your fat loss goal, especially if you are carb sensitive, because grains typically have a lot of calories in general, don't provide too much more satiety. To put things into perspective, people need in and around 30 to 50 grams of fiber per day to see its benefits, and quinoa, for instance, you would need to eat 6 cups of it to feel the benefits of the fiber from it. It also comes jam-packed with 236 grams of carbs. But when you compare it to 4 tablespoons of basil seeds, which has the same amount of fiber as the 6 cups of quinoa, it has virtually 0 grams of carbs and 10 grams of protein. Okay, the third biggest mistake that I see is you're not balancing protein with your fiber intake. Protein is so incredibly necessary to prevent any muscle loss and even muscle gain, and to preserve your metabolism as you lose fat. So you really don't want to skimp out on your protein, because otherwise you are not maximizing your body composition benefits. But because fiber is so incredibly satiating, it is easy to forget about your protein. So a good rule of thumb, and something that I taught my client who lost that 15 pounds on top of the 30 pounds she already lost with me, was to pair one source of fiber with one of the following sources of protein. Around 4 to 6 ounces of meat, fish, pork, beef with every single meal, 1.5 cups of cottage cheese, 2 cups of Greek yogurt, 5 ounces of tempeh, or 3 scoops of a high quality protein powder, or having anywhere between 3 to 5 eggs or 5 to 10 egg whites. The fourth mistake is that you are just simply not eating enough fiber. Now, the typical Canadian or average American consumes in and around 15 to 20 grams of fiber. Although we should be hitting in and around 30 to 50 grams of fiber, this is very personal and very individualized as well. I also tell my clients that sometimes it's better just to break up your fiber count into meals instead of totals for the day. So maybe your goal could be to hit in and around 14 to 18 grams of fiber per meal per day. And to put things into perspective, what that would look like would be 1 cup of black beans, or 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, or 4 to 5 artichoke hearts. The next mistake would be to not drink enough water. Upping your fiber without upping your water will lead to some issues, because water is necessary to push the fiber through your colon. And if not, it's going to get stuck. Next mistake is that you're probably not walking enough. On top of the water intake, the movement aspect is so critically important because it helps stimulate your GI tract. Aiming for in and around 7 to 10K steps seems to be a reasonable goal for most people. So just find what works best for you to get your gut moving. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram if you want more fit tips.